Hey gang, Ryan Cozy with the Chapel at Cross Point. I just wanted to give another mini teaching, if you will, on just some things that I'm trying to direct and hopefully help our circle group leaders understand, and just taking some time over the summer to think about these things. What I want to talk about today is the importance of serving in your circle group, serving as a group, as a whole. Over the last year, our circle group has had an opportunity on a couple of occasions to serve with one another. But the extent of my understanding of this goes back years in terms of my participation with a variety of things in churches I've been a part of over the years, where we've served as a community as a whole to try to make a difference in the community of the region that we're situated in. And for us in Buffalo or the Western New York area, we want to make a difference. And so I just want to speak to some things that when our circle groups serve in the region, some things happen. And so the first thing that I want to call to your attention is that the presence of the gospel goes forward. When you're doing something in the region as a group, and you show up and you say, hey, I want to help, I want to make a difference. It could be cleaning a street, it could be serving meals, it could be dealing with any number of things. And a lot of times our interest in these things stems from something that someone in our circle group is passionate about, and then they open the door up to us to be able to serve as a whole. And we've seen this happen in a variety of ways. But when we go and we begin to participate in serving together with one another, the reality is it communicates something. It communicates that, hey, we're here, we're in the community, and we want to make a difference. And if we take a humble posture or a low position in doing that, we begin to bring a true and a significant presence of the gospel into the community. And that's a really good thing. The second thing that happens is, as we do this, as we participate as a community to try to make a difference in the region, the second thing that happens is, as we bring the presence of the gospel in our participation, we also bring the opportunity for proclamation. And this is something that I get really excited about. So, you know, people may say eventually, if you do this enough and you're faithful to do this as a group, people may say to you, hey, why are you doing this? And as you build relationships with people and you do little things over time, you put little deposits in the trust bank of the relationship. That's kind of the way I think about it. Like, I want to do a lot of little things so that when someone asks me a big question, I can withdraw out of that trust, and I can say, I want to tell you about the gospel. And the reality is, God has given us the Holy Spirit, and it's up for us to discern when it's right to have that sort of a conversation. And so I trust the Holy Spirit in you and in the group to know when the time is right, that if that question ever does get asked, it's an opportunity for you to bring the proclamation of the truth of the gospel into that conversation. And that's a really, really important thing for you to be able to discern. That's the thing I love about the Holy Spirit, is in the New Testament it talks about how as a mark of our being a believer, we have this seal, and that seal is the Holy Spirit. And so the beautiful thing about that is we need to trust the Holy Spirit's leading. And if we do that, we'll know when the time is right to have that sort of a conversation. When a question of, hey, what's different about you, or why are you doing that, you'll know what to say. And you can trust that God's going to give you the word when you sense that the Spirit is saying, hey, walk through this door, have this conversation. So as we're present, it gives us the opportunity to discern the opportunity for proclamation. The third thing that it does is that it allows our circle group to go deeper in community. We want to be in these relationships. We want to grow closer to one another. And when we give of ourselves to something bigger than ourselves, we tend to learn a lot about each other. Sometimes it's not always easy. You know, I mean, we've had situations, I'm sure, where you're like, wow, geez, you know, it's kind of hard to get along with that person. But more often than not, we see these great opportunities to grow deeper with one another relationally. And I just think of, just over this last year, some of the conversations I've had with people in my circle group when I'm serving, like, wow, I didn't know that about you. That's actually pretty cool. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about your life. Tell me more about the things that you want to see happen in the region, or tell me more about your marriage. Tell me more about your children. Tell me more about the challenges that you're facing. Man, you grow deeper in community with one another. That's a great thing that we begin to experience when we serve together. And it's something that I don't want any of our circle groups to miss out on. As we grow deeper in community, the other thing that we tend to do is when we're giving of ourselves, and we're giving of ourselves as a group, we tend to learn more about God in the process. And that's just something that is any opportunity that you have to grow in your intimacy with God, that's a good thing. And if you can do that together in community with one another, that's pretty sweet too. And so one of the things that I fear sometimes that we may be missing out on is if our circle groups are transactional, meaning we just show up, we participate, we throw in the deuce, and then we just say, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I don't want that to happen. I would like for more meaningful relationships to be there. And I think that as we grow in our intimacy with God and we give of ourselves to serve in the community and in the region, it offers us the opportunity to grow in intimacy with God. And I think that's a great opportunity that we don't want to miss out on. The last thing that I would say about serving together too is it offers us the opportunity to glorify God. The Westminster Confession states that the chief end of man is the glory of God, and I completely agree with that. When you take the low position, you see a need in the community, you come in from a humble posture and you say, we want to make a difference. You glorify God. And when we can put the glory of God on display, that's an awesome thing. And so it's my hope that as you're a circle group leader that you'll start thinking about these things. Like some of these things, you may do them incredibly well, and you may go, hey, Ryan, thumbs up, or yeah, we believe it, we've been doing that. That's great. But I just have this suspicion, and not for any negative reason, but I think that as we're growing in leadership, we can always glean things that we're learning and that other people may be learning. So if I am able to help you in some small way, in presence, in proclamation, in deeper community, in deeper intimacy with God, or deeper opportunities to glorify God by serving in your circle group, then that's a win. And so I pray that this is fruitful. I pray that this is helpful. If there's any questions that you have or you'd like some more input from me, feel free to reach out at me by email. I can be reached at rkozey@thechapel.com. Or if you want to call the chapel at 631-2636, my extension is 227. I'm here. I want to be present. I want to be able to help in any way that I can. God bless you, gang. Have a wonderful week. And I pray that this teaching in some small way is fruitful to your spiritual growth and your development and your leadership ability with your circle group. God bless you.